Priests are molded by their people if they are open to it. Something that Pope Francis said that kind of underscored that for me was, he said that the priest should smell like the sheep, not to insult the people, but he meant you should be in with the people, you should be mixed in with the flock, you should be one of them, you should be not stand above them or outside of them. And I love that image, and I said that's how I've tried to be as a priest, my now almost 42 years being a priest.
We've gotten to know him very well, and in fact consider him a friend.
We have heard people come up to him and say, "Father, it's like you were talking to me. I'm going through that exact thing now with my family," or whatever it is.
His homilies are they hit home. So many times we walk out of church and I'm like, wow, you know, I needed that. I'm glad I came today because I needed that.
I think he was put into a very difficult situation, because I think people were very upset. He had to overcome that feeling and reestablish a level of trust.
There was some difficulty with priests, unfortunately, with the priest scandal, etc., and some priests were implicated who did serve here in the parish. I was intimidated, I suppose is the word. It wasn't the people's fault, it was more the fear that I had within me that could I help them to heal from this tragedy.
One of our parishioners had gone up island for the 50th anniversary. They have a special mass for people, and the bishop told him, "We got a great priest coming out to you."
I said, "Bishop, I'm not a good administrator. I don't know why you're asking me to come out here." He said, "Just be Joe. Just be Joe." And he said, "And I think things will be fine." So I said, "That I can do."
He has brought our parish together in the last 12, 13 years. He's humble, he's gracious, he's caring. And it's not just our church community, it's the community here on the East End that he loves.
If you talk about North Fork right away, people think of expensive homes, and they are an expensive place to live, and it is, as is Long Island in general. But there is a real problem with poverty.
So he has the homeless in the cold winter months, from November through April. It's safe and it's warm and it's community for them.
One of the things that the gospel says, Jesus says in Matthew 25, when I was hungry, when I was thirsty, when I was poor, when I was in prison, when I was sick, when I was lonely, what did you do? And it's really a privilege to serve them.
We have a Latino population, and Father is just a little short of being bilingual, but he communicates with them and he asks how they are, what they're doing, and makes them feel very much at home.
I'm not fluent, but I write out a little homily in Spanish. I do baptisms here in Spanish when people would like that.
We started this English as a second language class 6 years ago, and he comes every Tuesday night.
I buy books from Amazon. One side's in English, one side's in Spanish. They read the English, I correct them how to say it, and I say, I'm going to read it now in Spanish so you understand what you read. You correct me. So I'm teaching, but I'm learning at the same time.
I noticed that the students that are matched up with Father Joe, they've all got a big smile on their face at the end of the night.
They want to better themselves. They're coming from dangerous situations. They want to better their family life. And they take jobs, a lot of jobs that other people don't want, and they're very faithful to their jobs by and large, and so I want to help them to acclimate.
He's a good listener, very good listener.
He's a good pastor in the best sense of that word.
Yes.
My father was living with us in his last few years, and he was in hospice. My father had made a decision to stop certain treatment, and I think he was thinking morally that he, should he have. And we sat at this table and we spoke to Father Joe, and Father Joe walked into the room, and all we heard was, "Richard, I understand you made a very courageous decision." And it just put my father at ease, and I'll never forget him for that.
When he first got the award and everybody was clapping in church, and he said he didn't want to take credit for it. He felt it was good for the church, for the parish. And I came across from Proverbs a couple of weeks ago. Where humility is, there also is wisdom.
The atmosphere here is just, you really find people live their faith. It's not just going to church and then leaving and I fulfill my obligation. I tell them, I hate that word obligation that the church uses. You can go to church every day, but if you're not doing something to make somebody's life a little better, that's what God's going to ask us when we go to heaven. He's not going to say, how many masses have you gone to? I'm not saying it's not important. How many rosaries did you say? has its place. But did you help anybody? Can anybody say that because of you, my life was a little happier, a little easier, I felt like I was cared for, I mattered?